Hey everyone, and welcome back to another battle report. Today we're doing something a bit different. As promised, we're starting a narrative campaign. Now this is going to be something we've made up ourselves. We're mainly going to be placing it between the Necrons and the Raven Guard / Raptors, and they're going to be supported by an Imperial Knight detachment and Imperial Guard in the future. We do actually have a massive collection of both, so we should be able to make this campaign work. So this mission 1, is taken from an inspiration from Total War. So it's an ambush. So we're keeping to the theme of the Raven Guard ambushing their foes, whilst the Necrons are trying to move through this city from their tomb world. So they're basically advancing out, and the Raven Guard have caught wind of them and have decided to try and cut the head off this little force before it starts to grow. So the mission objectives for the Raven Guard are to slay the Overlord right here, and then once they've done that, they are to retreat in good order, just like Raven Guard do, and get to a table edge. So for the Necrons, however, their mission objective is to keep their lord alive and deal as much damage as possible to the Raven Guard. So the Raven Guard will score 3 victory points if they actually manage to kill the lord, and 1 victory point for every unit they manage to actually get off the table with. And for the Necrons, the way that they win is just to keep their lord alive and deal as much damage as they physically can to the Raven Guard. Now, I haven't actually calculated points or anything like that. I've literally just put everything out for this looks cool, and that's literally what we're doing. So as you can see, we are using the city terrain, and we've got a few of our custom made stuff in here and over there just to keep things a bit flavoury. So it's still got some of the nice stuff. And yeah, so let's go over the armies then. So the Necrons have 4 units of 10 warriors, 2 at the front, 2 at the rear, and they're being rear guarded by 2 units of the Annihilation Barges. And then in the centre we have the Necron Overlord. He is guarded by his, what are these guys called again? Lich Guard, that's it. And then we have the Triarch Stalker over there, and 2 units of Gorse Immortals. Now for the Raven Guard / Raptors, we have, in true Raven Guard style, tons of scouts and a few marines. And we also have assault marines in the building here. So we have scouts here with a heavy bolter. We have scouts here with sniper rifles and the captain. We have scouts here with just bolt guns. We have scouts here with heavy bolters. We have a tactical squad here with a melter and a combi melter, which is on the other side of the building. In that building we have tactical marines with a melter gun. In this building we have tactical marines with another melter gun. Here we have a land speeder storm with the heavy bolter and Cerberus launcher. And in the middle we have a unit of 5 Vanguard veterans with power swords. And also in reserve, oh, and I missed one more, we have the Raptors here, which are plasma and combi plasma. So in reserve we also have 2 Storm Talon gunships. However, now you may think that this seems a bit unbalanced with the amount of forces that the Raptors actually have. When the Storm Talon gunships come in, they are allowed to make essentially their normal movement, but they're not allowed to pivot in any way. They literally start here and here, and they strafe up this line. So it's kind of like a strafing run. They'll only aim for 1 turn, so they'll come in, choose a target, shoot, move, choose a target, shoot, and then they're gone. That's it. So it's literally like a quick strike to give them the cover to pull back. So Raven Guard will take turn 1 in this, and they are going to have one special rule, which is strike from the shadows, something I've just made up for this game in particular, wherein all of their weapons have the twin link special rule. So not too crazy. I didn't want to give them rending and all the rest of it, just to show that they're all carefully planned and they're all ready to shoot, that they actually have their targets lined up and they're ready to go. So speaking of which, we're ready to start this up, so we'll be back at the end of Raptors / Raven Guard turn 1. Right then, we're back at the end of Raven Guard turn 1. So the Raven Guard unleashed their flurry of bolt of fire and melt of fire and managed to take out that stalker. They fired into this annihilation barge, but it was able to jink, luckily. They've whittled down some Necron warriors in that unit. That unit lost a massive amount of its unit, models in its unit, and are on the run. Then everything else shot into the Lord. Oh, and shot into this as well from these scouts. Managed to get a rear shot and took off 1 hull point. But then everything else shot in the Lord. The Landspeeder Storm, those scouts, and the no longer existent Vanguard veterans all shot in, and the Vanguard veterans, in their arrogance, decided to charge the Necron Lord, doing absolutely no damage, and a Hyperface Sword cut them to ribbons. So
yeah, I'm dead.
Yeah. So that is 1 point so far to the Necrons, and we will now move on to Necrons turn 1. Right, and we're back at the end of Necrons turn 1.
I've been crushed.
It's not that bad. So the Necrons this turn have managed to score 2 points. They have wiped out that tactical squad in that building just there, and they obviously have killed the Vanguard veterans, so that is their 2 points. We managed to shoot this guy into this, killing 1 Marine. Those guys shot into those Marines, doing nothing. Those Immortals had to run around because they was going to fire into the tactical squad, but the Warriors managed to deal with him handily. These guys shot, killing the Heavy Bolter. These guys shot, taking 1 hull point off the Landspeeder Storm, and then these guys charged into close combat, killing it outright. And this guy shot into these, killing 1. So that is the end of the Necron turn, and we'll now be moving on to
My flyers.
Yes, the Raptors support's going to show up. So this way this is going to work is one Raptor Storm Turner's going to start here, and one's going to start here, and then they're going to choose their target and shoot, and then the next turn they will move up halfway up the table and then shoot again, and then they'll fly off. So here comes the close range support for the Raptors and Raven Guard. They really need it. Right, and we're back at the end of Raptors and Raven Guard turn 2. So the Flyers come screaming onto the table. This one blew that annihilation barge sky high, and this one attempted to put fire into the Lord, but those Hyperface shields are just too powerful.
And if they're the only things that's caused the most damage, the rest of it, like, just done nothing.
Yeah, pretty much, as she's just said, that's pretty much how the game went.
And then I charged.
Yeah, over there.
And now they're running away.
Yeah.
So that didn't go well.
They actually rapid fired into the Necron Immortals and decided to charge afterwards. Failed to do any damage in combat, lost one of their number in close combat to the Immortals, and then ran away. So, eventful turn for the Raptors and Raven Guard. Other than that, they managed to pink off a few wounds here. Actually, I need to do a leadership check for them. So we'll do that right now on camera. So they are LD10, and they pass on a 5.
What a surprise.
Hey, Necrons. So, we will now move into Necrons turn 2. And so far, that's the Necrons. We're on 3 points, and we're doing pretty well.
And I'm losing. Have I got 0 points?
Yeah, because you have to kill the Lord and then run off the table, don't you?
Yeah.
And I just have to kill you.
Yeah.
So, we'll be right back at the end of Necrons turn 2. Right, we're back at the end of Necrons turn 2. It seems to be a game where the Necrons shoot, kill a few models, the Raven Guard shoot, kill nothing. Sound about right?
Yeah.
So the Necrons have picked up another point, killing the scouts in that central building. They use the combined fire of those Necron warriors just there, and those Immortals there. And those Immortals shot into that Raptors unit, killing 1. And meanwhile, in other news, these guys ran, and these guys shot into that unit there, killing 2 of their number. And that is pretty much it. These guys shot into that unit in the building, doing nothing, and this guy shot into that unit, also doing nothing. So that is it for the Necrons on turn 2.
I need to hope these babies do some damage.
Yes, let's hope these flyers do something. So, now what we're going to do is these flyers are going to scream halfway up the board. And then they're going to do another shooting phase, and then that's it for them. They're off the table. So, these guys really need to pull their weight, because if they don't, the Raven Guard look like they could actually lose this one. So, we'll be right back after Necrons... no, not Necrons, sorry. After Raven Guard, turn 3. Back at the end of Raptors and Raven Guard, turn 3, and the last turn of the game. The Raven Guard and Raptors gave a valiant effort to attempt to kill the Lord. Actually, before we call it just there, the Lord does need to make a leadership check. So if he was to fail said leadership check, he could run off the board. So let's try. No, it's fine. So yeah, the Raptors and Raven Guard are calling it here. So what happened then? Everything that was in range and could shoot shot into the Lord. And as you can see, his numbers have gotten quite a lot thinner. So they managed to kill 3 of the Lich Guard that were guarding him and take him down by 1 wound. However, the Necron durability held through and he managed to survive. They made quite a lot of reanimation rolls. So everything else, just, yeah, not really much they can do. If we was to go on to a Necron turn, then the Necrons will start sweeping house. So,
That would blasted off the table.
yeah. So the Raptors are admitting the fact that they've failed on their mission and are doing a fighting withdrawal. So, very thematic. The Raptors tried to get an ambush off, failed, and are now doing a fighting retreat. So, that is our first campaign mission.
Yep.
We will, yep, good game, as always. So, we will move on to the next part in the story, as we'll build it as we're going along. But I do hope you enjoyed this first mission, this little ambush of the Raptors onto the Necrons. The next time the Raptors are going to have to bring a bit more firepower to the table, I must admit. So the next time it will probably be the Necrons chasing them down and fall onto a Raptors strong point, where they've got entrenched units, and it will be a case of them fighting to the last. So, yeah, I think actually that's something we'll do. We'll do like an Imperial bunker or something. So, thanks ever so much for tuning in, guys. If you like the video, give it a like. If you want to see more, why not subscribe? Until next time, cheers.
Bye.